Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health, and School of Social Work Friends and Family. The ceremony will begin shortly. Please take your seats and turn off your cell phones.
I visited Loyola. This was my first time ever coming to Chicago, and I just stepped on campus and it felt right. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, it was exactly where I wanted to be.
I came from a Jesuit university myself, so I knew what it meant and how they are really committed to the social impact work, and so it made sense for me to come and study an MBA focused on social impact in Loyola and in the city.
I chose Loyola because of their commitment to health equity and their patient-centered approach to care. And both of those are informed by this Jesuit notion of the inherent dignity of all people.
When I originally came in, I felt welcomed. You know, it felt like I went from being a student to having a family.
So right when the pandemic hit, we had to go home. I think this was like the week before spring break.
We had the metaphorical rug pulled out from underneath our feet, and all of a sudden everything was switched to online. And yeah, it was of course challenging. We were isolated. We were not able to see those people, our classmates, who had been such an incredible support system for those first 2 years.
I think the biggest roadblock during that time was trying to stay focused.
I lived in a really social dorm my freshman year, and then that was a really hard thing to just be done and go home.
We handled it with grace, and I was just humbled by some of the resiliency of many of my classmates.
Somehow still staying connected with the people that I had met, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be on FaceTime.
My program was very helpful in creating this community. We would have virtual coffee talks.
We made projects together. You know, we would get online and we would form groups and we would help each other in class.
That's something I will appreciate always. Like, I have this Friends for Life that Loyola gave me here in Chicago.
So with the pandemic came a really big time for reflection within myself. So I ended up changing my focus from medicine to public health, more specifically into what is epidemiology.
When coming back to campus, though, I think the biggest thing was joining clubs that matter to me and getting involved in the clubs that I'm in. So in my sorority, getting involved with being in the sisterhood stuff and getting involved with teaching new members and helping them to come back into the sorority.
When I look at my classmates who did not relent in their collective pursuit of their medical education, I'm filled with hope.
After graduation, I will continue working at Driehaus Capital Management, now as a full-time employee.
So the hope and dream is, getting a job within epidemiology.
So a couple days ago, I found out that I'll be going to Columbia for internal medicine residency.
I have been exposed to some corporate recruiting, which has kind of given me insight into where I want to take my psychology degree. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be taking on a full-time position as a recruiter at LaSalle Network.
When I look back, I am going to say, I did it. I did it with the help of Loyola, the family bond that I built, joining together and completing what I started.
I would say that it definitely has set me up to manage my expectations and to kind of persevere through whatever difficult situation is happening, whether it be my work life, whether it be personal life, academic life.
We found Friends for Life here, and I feel incredibly blessed to have been a part of this community and really found my people during these past 5 years.
Parkinson and social work friends, may I have your attention, please, so we can begin the ceremony. My name is Amy Greenberg. I am the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs for the School of Social Work. I draw your attention to the faculty processional that will be led by members of Loyola's Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health, the School of Social Work faculty, and members of the Dean's Party. President Rooney, Provost Callahan, Dean Murato, Dean Menon, officers of the university, guests of honor, members of the faculty and administration, candidates for graduation, friends and family of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health, and the School of Social Work, welcome to the 152nd Annual Commencement of Loyola University Chicago for the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and the School of Social Work. As we begin, let us pause for a moment to draw our attention to the university's land acknowledgement statement, both on screen and on the inside front cover of your program, honoring the heritage of the grounds we walk. Now, will everyone who is able please stand as the Loyola Wind Ensemble plays the national anthem. We ask that you remain standing until the invocation has been given. It is now my privilege to present Reverend Jeremy Overbeck of the Society of Jesus, who will give the invocation.
Let us bow our heads and pray. God of us all, you gather us from so many places, geographically, spiritually. For years, you have blessed us with an array of gifts and guided us to develop them and use them for the good of your people. Help us this day of commencement to remember and to give thanks. To remember many of the ways you have been good to us, especially through the people who have supported us and challenged us to live up to our calling. To give thanks for the goodness you have bestowed on us through many others. Today especially, we give thanks for our beloved professor and colleague, Michael Kelly, who was indeed so good to many of us. May our grateful hearts remain open to the needs of so many on the margins. Do not let their needs overwhelm us. Keep us far from cold-heartedness and cynicism. Keep us from falling into the ranks of those who could care less. Instead, help us renew our spirit and refresh our resolve to take our talent and training to do our little part of your life-giving plan to salvage us. This we pray for your greater honor and glory. Amen.
Everyone, please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce Dr. Joanne Rooney, President, Loyola University of Chicago, who will offer a few words of welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and trustees of Loyola University Chicago and our worldwide network of alumni, family, and friends, welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and the School of Social Work, part of the 2022 annual commencement for Loyola University Chicago. This year, we celebrate more than 5,000 graduates across 11 ceremonies in one joy-filled week. Being able to celebrate together this year adds an extra level of excitement to an already momentous occasion. Following many months of constant adjustment, isolating solitude, remote learning, and virtual ceremonies, we have learned not to take some of the most basic things for granted, such as joining together as community, or exchanging face-to-face greetings, or sharing that special hug. I extend heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates, and the warmest wishes to all of the family, friends, and loved ones here with us today. Despite the uncertainties and constant challenges you encountered during this global pandemic, you have adapted and have persevered. With resolve and resilience, you continue to connect, to learn, and to care for each other. You navigated constant changes while supporting one another, and you worked hard as you completed your degrees. This is the real definition of being Jesuit educated. Of course, there were countless difficult moments and even some periods filled with doubt. We have all been inspired by your resilience, creativity, and determination as you navigated so much change and uncertainty. Yet through it all, we have a renewed appreciation that we are all in this together, and none of us can accomplish great things alone. So let us take this moment to appreciate each other, students, families, faculty, and staff, for the many ways you lifted one another up, persevered, and leaned into the greater goal and the greater good. Please join me in applause for each other. At this Jesuit Catholic university, we understand that there is no learning without love, no success without kindness, no scholarship without accompaniment. There is no justice without mercy, no reason without faith, and no healing without hope. Our coming together today is a collective act of hope and of love. We come from many backgrounds and celebrate as one achievements across many fields. We connect not only to mark this milestone, but also to affirm as a community our commitment to the values of Jesuit education. Civil discourse, deeper understanding, greater justice achieved through education, research, and service to others, and seeking and seeing God in all things. To this class of 2022, as you transition from student to graduate, it is important to recognize that it is your calling your responsibility to apply these values across a world that is in need of hope, commitment to action, and leaders like you. But for right now, at this moment, let us focus on the present. It is time to celebrate and commence.
It is now my pleasure to present Dr. Elaine Morato, Founding Dean of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very excited to be here joining President Joanne Rooney, Provost Margaret Callahan, and my colleague Dean Gotham Menon from the School of Social Work, and to be here celebrating you all, the class of 2022. This is our school's first in-person commencement, so it's truly exciting, and I'm delighted to also have on stage with me our student speaker, Amanda Galassi from the Parkinson School, along with my colleague and friend, Dr. Spiro Manson, who's a leading authority in Indian and Alaska Native health, our invited commencement speaker, and this year's recipient of the university's honorary degree. So on behalf of all of the faculty and staff here with us today, let me extend a very heartfelt congratulations to the class of 22. Whether you are entering the workforce, returning to your careers, or starting a new phase of your education, we are celebrating today you, as you begin your next chapter in life's journey. And I hope that your Loyola and your Parkinson School education can be guides to you as you are called to be persons for others. And what I'll say is 5 important ways. First, we know that you are called to improve health equity. This is so central to our Jesuit values and our social justice mission. We know, and the pandemic over the last several years has certainly further illuminated, that we must address racism and all social determinants of health if we are truly to tackle issues of health disparities that we see in the world around us. So for that, you are also called to be problem solvers. That is, working with others in interdisciplinary collaboration. We know it takes a village to solve the complex health problems that we face. For those at the Parkinson School, we know you often worked across departments, across schools, campuses, and outside the university with partners in healthcare and community, so that we hope that you keep that same team-based mindset and approach as you go forth to seek out new cross-sectoral partnerships to tackle difficult health problems. You are also called to translate the knowledge that you've acquired, your years here at Loyola, into action with urgency and with purpose. Your experiential learning, your applied scholarship give you the tools for social good. And truly, you are society's next health ambassadors and change agents, who we ask that you are called to be our health entrepreneurs of tomorrow for social good. Whether you are working in public health, healthcare settings, or other health-related settings, we know that your skills and your intellect and compassion paired with the Parkinson School entrepreneurial spirit itself will serve you well in solving the tough problems and in scaling sustainable solutions. And lastly, you are called to be lifelong learners. At the core of Ignatian spirituality is our major source of renewable energy. That is, finding God in all things and experiencing wonder, hope, joy, and connection everywhere with all and in all. My hope is that you never lose your curiosity and your delight in discovery and new knowledge. So on behalf of the entire Parkinson School family, congratulations, and now go forth and set the world on fire. I would like to now present Dr. Gotham Menon, who's the Dean of the School of Social Work.
Thank you, Dean Morato. At this time, I would like to invite you to take a look at the screens as the Social Work Code of Ethics is now on display. The Code of Ethics is the guide to our daily practice and professional self so that we can be the best social worker possible. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Social Work, I thank President Rooney, Provost Callahan, members of the Cabinet, Dean's Council, our speaker, Dr. Mason, for joining us this afternoon to celebrate our 2022 social work graduates. I wish to recognize and thank the Loyola Wind Ensemble for being with us too. Today we gather to recognize and honor the graduates of 2022, and to you all, our newest alumni, I say welcome and congratulations. Your journey to this point would not have been possible without the support of spouses, partners, parents, children, grandparents, friends, and well-wishers. Welcome to all of you, as this ceremony is in part a testimony to your fortitude and commitment to your loved one. Today we recognize the accomplishments of the members of the graduating class of 2022 as they move beyond their student status, embarking on diverse careers in social work practice, policy, advocacy, and education. Living through nearly 2 years of ambiguity, uncertainty, hardship, fear, we have seen humaneness erode, incivility explode, patience tested, lives lost and maimed. And in this chaos, we all find it hard to be true to our profession's 6 core tenets of being: service, social justice, dignity and worth of the person, importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence. These 6 values that we hold dear to our profession is what all of you have been trained to fulfill as you go through. And we have persevered through it all, these last 2 years. You have been resilient. We have journeyed with each other as companions, as peers, as mentors and mentees, truly as a professional family. We are here today. We are alive. We are thankful to God for guiding us with love so that we can serve with grace and hope the many left voiceless and disenfranchised in our societies. Graduates, the faculty, staff, and administrators of the School of Social Work are so very proud of you, and we cannot wait to see you blossom in your chosen vocation to be that person for the other. May it be family, stranger, friend, immigrant, or refugee. Together we will journey on this rock we call home. Congratulations, class of 2022. All the best for an amazing and fulfilling career of service to others. Yes, let's go forth and set this world on fire with passion and compassion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Menon. With pleasure, I now present Amanda Galassi, candidate for the degree of the Master of Science in Dietetics, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the entire student community of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health.
Good afternoon, Dr. Rooney, Provost Callahan, Deans Morato, and Menon. I'm honored to stand here today to share in the magnificent accomplishments of my graduating class. This moment is particularly special for me because just 2 years ago, My undergraduate commencement took place over Zoom, and I was hundreds of miles away from my family. So now, to be in the same room as my family and my fellow graduating students is pretty surreal. When I was first asked to be the commencement speaker, it was suggested that I deliver a positive and hopeful message for the future. And honestly, my first thought was, I don't think I can. I am a relatively optimistic person, but the events of these past few years have challenged me in indescribable ways. The turbulent political climate, the pandemic, and now the attack on our right to choose have left me sad, angry, and unsettled. And while there's certainly a lot to be grateful and hopeful for, it's been tough to recognize this at times. And as future health professionals, you may have felt similarly during your time here. This is an important time for our professions, but it's also a scary one. We carry the responsibility, privilege, and challenge of promoting health in a country that does not give everyone a fair chance at achieving it. However, I'm proud to be part of a school whose namesakes, Bob and Betty Parkinson, acknowledge that healthcare is a basic human right. And I believe this philosophy extends to food and nutrition as well. Access to nutritious foods is critical for health, which is why I find it disheartening that Maywood, Illinois, home to Loyola Medical Center and the Health Sciences campus, is a food desert. Maywood's only grocery store closed its doors in 2016, the very same year that Loyola opened the $137 million Center for Translational Research and Education building. And it was in that building where I sat and learned about how important it was for communities to have grocery stores with healthy foods. The irony is not lost on me. But I feel if we don't first recognize these harsh realities, we can't appreciate all the good being done to counteract them. Loyola faculty member Mary Mora started VeggieRx, a program that provides free boxes of fresh produce to Maywood residents. I spent a day packing these food boxes with Mary, and the experience opened my eyes to the impact that community engagement and advocacy can have on public health. Another individual who's inspired me is Dr. Paul Farmer, who sadly passed away this past February. Dr. Farmer was a strong proponent for using food to empower communities around the world. And I hope to someday utilize the knowledge and skills I gained at Loyola to fight for food justice and promote public health, just like these incredible individuals. My biggest inspirations, though, are my classmates. Their intelligence, creativity, and empathy inspire me every day and make me proud to call them not only my classmates, but my friends. And to all the graduates, I'm incredibly proud and grateful to have shared this experience with you, and I know that you will all go on to do amazing things. And to my advisor, Dr. Joanne Koba, and to all of my professors and my preceptors, thank you for always believing in me and for giving me the confidence to stand up for what is right. Now, I have no idea what the future holds for my dietetics career. In my time at Loyola, I've discovered interest in areas of the field I had not previously considered. But what brings me comfort in this uncertainty is knowing that as Loyola graduates, we are entering a world with infinite opportunities to make a difference. And I know in my heart that I will always be committed to one thing, which is helping people. Dr. Farmer once said that when he's helping people, that's when I feel most alive. And I couldn't agree more. So to my fellow graduates, I encourage you all to find what makes you feel most alive and to chase that feeling, because the world needs you now more than ever. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Amanda. With pleasure, I now present Julia Yaccarino, candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the entire student community of the School of Social Work.
Welcome President Rooney, Provost Callahan, Dean Morato, Dean Menon, officers of the university, guests of honor, members of the faculty and administration, candidates for graduation, and friends and family of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and the School of Social Work. It is an honor to be here today celebrating our achievements. As we learn to balance Loyola's rigorous coursework yet rewarding internships, it has become no secret that social work is an extremely challenging profession. So what drives us to continuously pursue this career? When I was 16, I sat across from my family at my younger brother's birthday dinner and asked them if I could take a mission trip to Ethiopia, Africa, to teach English at an orphanage. Within months, I found myself at Seleanot Orphanage with 7 other volunteers from around the world, all wide-eyed and eager to interact with the children. While the duties of teaching, cleaning, and engaging in basic childcare were fulfilling, I remained wonderstruck by the kids. They were all highly aware of their lack of privilege, yet consistently demonstrated vibrancy, happiness, and joy. This mindset contributed to the formulation of many questions about the inequality that exists in our world. Why are such good-hearted children forced to suffer from such a severe lack of resources? Why are these children who radiate nothing but gratitude given so little as a result of our world's circumstances? These questions still pick at my brain. Regardless of how amazing my experience was, it was brutally eye-opening to the injustices in our world. It is with this blunt and honest reality that I strongly believe that we are all here today. We are here because we all have an ache in our hearts. We all have someone, something, maybe even a somewhere that inspires us to make a positive change in the world. Graduates, I encourage you to briefly reflect on what brings you here today. What has pushed you to achieve all that you have accomplished within these past years at Loyola? Whether it is personally touching the lives of our clients, changing institutional policies, or implementing change on a public policy level, we all have one mission: to make the world a better place. Loyola University of Chicago fosters a very special community, and we have all had the privilege of attending this amazing institution. The School of Social Work specifically has helped us grow as students, professionals, and individuals. It has improved our patience. Our patience is tested every day as we struggle to balance schoolwork, our internships, and social life. The emergence of COVID-19 has certainly taken a negative toll on mental health and has limited our interactions with others. Amidst this harrowing challenge, Loyola has ensured that we are all connected with one another through enabling us to participate in class discussions involving current social justice issues, while professors have worked tirelessly to cultivate our passionate spark through supporting our future career goals. Loyola has both revitalized and sustained our faith, whether that faith lies in God or in a simple belief that our world will experience a positive change. As a Jesuit institution, we are taught to go and set the world on fire. Our experiences at Loyola have acted as a light, gradually leading us towards a path that will create a positive impact. Lastly, Loyola has strengthened our empathy. Empathy is arguably the most valuable quality in the social work field. We practice empathy as we listen to our fellow classmates that are struggling. We practice empathy as we engage with clients in our internships, and we practice empathy as we express attunement and emotion towards societal issues. In other words, Loyola has given us the tools to strengthen our future careers and has gifted each student with an everlasting hunger to change the world. These gifts do not terminate as we receive our diplomas today. In fact, we are all just beginning our new journeys. We stand here today not only because of our academic accomplishments, but because of our personal growth and resilience. We are here because we have not given up on our someone, something, or even somewhere that drives us to positively impact the lives of others. Go out and make the world a better place. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Julia. The honorary degree will now be presented. On behalf of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and the School of Social Work, Dean Murado will introduce Dr. Manson and read the citation. President Joanne Rooney will confer the degree.
Thank you. President Rooney, Dr. Spiro Manson is a distinguished professor and the Colorado Trust Chair in American Indian Health at the Colorado School of Public Health at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus, where he also directs the Centers for American Indian and Alaska Native Health. His programs have included 10 national centers which have pursued research, program development, training, and collaboration with 250 Native American communities. Over the course of his career, Dr. Manson has acquired over $200 million in sponsored research to support this work, has published 280 articles and more and book chapters on the assessment, the epidemiology, the treatment and prevention of health problems over the developmental lifespan of Native people. Importantly, he has developed community participatory-based research methods in partnership with tribal communities, establishing model approaches for mentoring Native researchers and advancing and evaluating innovative solutions to problems such as substance abuse and alcohol use, and suicide and behavioral and mental health issues that have affected generations of American Indian and Alaska Native people. Dr. Manson's lifelong efforts to address the health disparities facing Native American population reflects our own commitment at Loyola for social justice and improving health equity for all. Dr. Spiro Manson, President Rooney, I invite you to the podium. President Rooney, in recognition of Dr. Manson's steadfast leadership in public health and his lifelong commitment to social justice and improving Indian and Native health, I recommend the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa be conferred upon him.
Upon the recommendation of the Dean of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended, Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Thank you so much. I was sharing earlier that this is my first commencement ever, and wearing the regalia and the opportunity to have some color with it, as all faculty and leadership here is particularly meaningful. In the words of my people of the Eastern Woodlands, Miigwech, thank you, Dean Morato, Dean Menon, and President Rooney, for the opportunity to join you, the faculty, and Loyola University Chicago leadership in honoring today's graduates, your families, and friends. I deeply appreciate this opportunity to be with you and to recognize your accomplishments. Your entry into the worlds of the health sciences, public health, and social work has special meaning at this juncture in our lives, beyond the joy, sense of accomplishment, and future promise of this moment. Allow me to explain. Like many, my professional efforts the last several years have sought to ameliorate the ravages of COVID-19 among Native and non-Native people alike, among all of us. In due course, I was privileged to interview an Athabascan elder about the pandemic and asked his view of the future. He answered as follows, and I quote, "Once more darkness descends upon our people and this land. It bears many names: smallpox, the flu, measles, typhoid, TB. Today, a virus. Suffering and death always follow. Yet our traditions shine brightly, casting light to guide the way. We again struggle to survive, buoyed by these traditions, now armed as well with medicine and science, weapons of the Western world. The challenge is how to bring both to bear on this danger so we may live on. This elder's words acknowledge the devastating impact of pandemics such as this on our lives. The losses, tangible and intangible, everyone has suffered, and the darkness that cloaks daily experience. But he underscores the importance of culture and traditions, which give rise to the strength, to the resilience that resides within each of us, within our loved ones, within our communities. Our cultures and traditions cast the light by which to push back the shadows, to penetrate the gloom that threatens hope, aspiration, dreams of better days. Yet this elder's words warn that the burning light of culture and tradition alone is unlikely to ensure survival. Indeed, the echoes of past examples suggest this has often been the case, as his references to earlier pandemics remind us. The difference today, he argues, is the promise of medicine and science. In your case here, of the health sciences, public health, and social work as weapons of the Western world, which offer new knowledge and strategies to be mobilized to capitalize on the insights revealed by this light. Now, we are told, our challenge is to determine how best to weave together the power of both. If health sciences, public health, and social work are the weapons of the Western world, you are its warriors. Armed with the knowledge, skills, and vision to help fight such battles, today against COVID, tomorrow against the many other dangers threatening the health and well-being of humankind. Some of you may move immediately to practice, joining colleagues in planning and direct intervention, putting to use the armament that you have acquired. Others may choose to pursue research, to improve or to develop new, more effective weapons in the form of innovative mitigation strategies or creative educational campaigns that restore trust in your respective fields, enabling colleagues to better deploy the arsenal available to them. Still more may elect to teach the next generations of the health sciences, public health, and social work force, ensuring others follow in your footsteps, ready to join this common cause. Each is essential to realizing the promise envisioned by this Athabascan elder. As we say in Native communities, it is the warrior way. I do not use the term warrior lightly here. In many worlds, this elder's, mine, and others, a warrior is a highly respected role that carries with it duty and responsibilities. She or he has an obligation to prepare, as you have, to protect, to serve one's community, and lead to the best of one's ability. In turn, a warrior is valued, esteemed, and prized by others. You are about to experience both, perhaps not in equal measure at the same time, but on balance as you reflect on the journey begun. Commencement, of course, refers to a start, to a beginning. In some ways, this is a bit of a misnomer. After all, you've already been on this journey. As I stand before you, I'm reminded of the early years of my own journey. I'm the second eldest, the eldest male of 67 grandchildren on the paternal side of my family from the Turtle Mountain Reservation in North Dakota. I was the first for several generations to go to college. Probably like you, an enormous amount of family pride was invested in me with high expectations. My grandmother, a Chippewa elder who was with us to a week short of her 100th birthday, was the center of much of our family's life. As many families often do, we gathered endlessly in her kitchen to visit. Two aunties took special interest in me and my promise. Seldom a gathering passed when one of them would fail to ask, "Spiro, what are you doing now?" My answer for over 20 years was going to school. Going to school still? Aren't you ever going to finish? She retorted. My grandmother quickly interceded. You leave him alone. I'm a student too in the school of life. Never stop being a student. Today is, in one sense, a commencement of your lives as practitioners of health sciences, public health, and social work. but it is also an extension of at least 1.5 decades of your former schooling in life. I encourage you to embrace the vision my grandmother offered. Be a lifelong learner, always open to the lessons the world around us has to offer. In closing, I share with you a greeting among my people, GZ God. May it be a good day. Yes, today is a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manson. The candidates for the degrees from the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health will now be presented. Dean Morato will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees. I would like to invite President Rooney and Dean Morato to the center podium.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health please rise? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Public Health, Clinical Research Methods and Epidemiology, Dietetics, Exercise Science, Health Informatics and Data Science, and Medical Laboratory Science. The candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements of their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please don your hoods. And congratulations.
The candidates for the master's degrees will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by marshals. Dr. Joanne Koba, Department Chair and Associate Professor, Applied Health Sciences for the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health, will read the names of the candidates. One of our long-standing traditions is to have each of our graduates shake the hands of the President and the Dean as they walk across the stage accepting their diploma. This year, out of an abundance of caution and respect for our graduates and their guests, at each of our ceremonies throughout the week, we ask that you forego the customary handshake and instead exchange verbal greetings. Thank you for your understanding. Friends and family, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all master's degrees have been recognized. Guests are not permitted to approach the stage to take photographs. Thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree Master of Public Health and also Medical Doctor on Saturday, May the 14th, Dua Abdullah Alebdi. Danielle Alexandra Andrews. Eric Stephen Carlson. Lucas Suarez Ferrara. Nayeli Lizette Langarica. Yolanda Lan Pham. Kristen Swope. Congratulations. Hold. Receiving the degree Master of Public Health, Anam Ali. Isba Iqbal Ali. Liliana Victoriva Babiai. Harris Delic. Giovanni Nicole Gray. Anne Green. Connor Gouger. Chloe Hope Hartman. Kevin Raymond Matos. Margaret Morse. Sugar Patel. Therese Elaine Sison Benea. Olivia Nicole Sterling. Gregory Jacob Varghese. Kiana C. Williams. Gary Francis Zarang. Congratulations. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Dietetics, Denise Chan. Madeline Joy Calanto. Molly Frances DeYoung. Amanda Rose Galese. Victoria Grace Halber. Kelly Ann Kirschbaum. Lily Sue Lichtenstein. Maisha Tashay Uten. Carmen Jamal Paredes. Faith Catherine Rabish. Kaylee Ann Tasca. Congratulations. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Exercise Science, Victoria Isabel Cantu. Cassidy Dominique Hill. Lauren Joelle Jones. Nefertia Joanna Jones. Daniel Thomas Malin. Calvis Robert Melbardis. Christian Kea Walk. Garrett Christopher Zolg. Congratulations. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Health Informatics and Data Science, Stephen Birch. Congratulations. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Medical Laboratory Science, Victoria Ann Marie Anderson. Alyssa Marie Fogarty. Janelle Renee Jackson. Kulin Panchal. Catherine Mary Zemke. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for the baccalaureate degrees will now be presented. Dean Murato will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health please stand? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, Healthcare Administration, and Public Health. The candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side, and congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for all bachelor's degrees will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by marshals. Dr. Mary Margaret Sharp-Pucci, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs and Chair of the Department of Healthcare Administration, will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not yet been taken out of their rows may be seated again. Friends and family, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all bachelor's degrees have been recognized. Guests are not permitted to approach the stage to take photographs. Thanks for your cooperation.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, Veronica Aguado. Ali J. Ahmad. Gabriella R. Allegheny, magna cum laude. Gia Francesca Baldessano, magna cum laude. Alexandria Ann Calcano. Christopher Patrick Colon. Victor J. Colon Sanchez, cum laude. Sophia Dane Coles, cum laude. Abigail Davenport, magna cum laude. Luke J. Denton. Emma Joan Dunderdale, cum laude. Andrew Conley Erker, magna cum laude. Karen Gomez, magna cum laude. Jordan Marie Leonard. Nicole Elizabeth Lewandowski, cum laude. Zuzi Iman Malonga. Christopher Andrew Mills. Maggie Rose Napoli. Sarah V. Rankins. Haley Rose Wiersma, summa cum laude. Angelina Zachariah. Leal Mohammed Saidan, cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Healthcare Administration, Camille Joy B. Eng, cum laude. Sophia Jean Bernard, summa cum laude. Yumna F. Bowane, magna cum laude. Estelle Marie Broussard, cum laude. Salvatore Anthony Carfagno III. Victoria Chung, cum laude. Eliza L. de Guzman. Gabriella Elizabeth DiMartino. Alexander Joseph Derozinski, cum laude. Giovanna Valeria Fortuna. Misha B. Gordon. Alexandra Gokowska. Nina Ruth Gutierrez, cum laude. Michelle Signa Haynes. Ashley Marie Jardine. Amira Khan, magna cum laude. Jennifer Nicole Lakowski, cum laude. Tatiana Rayon Miller. Maria Malik. Hong Win. Varunda Patel. Caitlin Marie Peterson, cum laude. Jennifer Alyssa Punzio, cum laude. Daniela Christina Rizzi, magna cum laude. Ofrim Kamaluddin Syed. Abia Hafiz Shiraz. Madison Quinn Stalpez, magna cum laude. Ella Teta. Rafaela Travail, cum laude. Jordan Thomas Varghese. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Vinthi Bakshi, magna cum laude. Natalie Contreras. Cristobal Dominguez, cum laude. Felene Bernadette Marina Fernando. Melissa Joan Ong Mandrenka. Katrina McNew. Rena Nandalia. Christina N. Pascon, summa cum laude. Amar Patel. Ananya Pati. Maria Catherine Price. Isabel Marie Stewart, summa cum laude. Sarah Catherine Strom, summa cum laude. Emily Pearl Waskowitz. Margot Madeline Whitehead. Congratulations, graduates.
It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Terry Northcutt, Director of the PhD program in the School of Social Work.
The doctoral students in the School of Social Work were hooded at the commencement ceremony for the Graduate School of Loyola University, Chicago yesterday. They join us today to celebrate their accomplishments with the School of Social Work community. I will ask the doctoral graduates to come forward as their names are called and their dissertation titles read. The chair of their dissertations will greet them and present them to President Rooney and Dean Menon. It is my privilege to present Dr. Amzie Moore. Dr. Moore's chair was Dr. Catherine Tyson McRae. His dissertation title, The Souls of Black Folks in the 21st Century, Self-Efficacy, Grit, and Their Development in Low-Income Urban Black Youth. It is my privilege to present Dr. Mary Dungy Akenji. Dr. Dungy Akenji's chair is Dr. Amy Krings, who couldn't be here today, but another member of her committee, Susan Grossman, will congratulate her on the whole committee's behalf. Dissertation title, An Interpretive Phenomenological Study of Women's Struggles, Hopes, and Reasons for Participation.
The candidates for degrees from the School of Social Work will now be presented. Dean Menon will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees. I would like to invite President Rooney and Dean Menon to the center podium.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the School of Social Work please rise? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Social Work. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Social Work and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please don your hoods. And congratulations!
The candidates for the Master of Social Work degrees will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by marshals. Dr. Priscilla Freire, Assistant Dean for Master of Social Work Programs, will read the name of the candidates, and I will be assisting her. Social work friends and family, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all MSWs have been recognized. Guests are not permitted to approach the stage to take photographs. Thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree of Master of Social Work, James Nagai, Nolan Nalupta, Janice Patrice Newman, Sophie Nimusek, Maria Namishka Tochik, Jacqueline Kate O'Boyle, Kevin William Okrim. Grace Ann O'Connell. Maureen O'Connor. Lily Lynn Ole. Alicia Olage Yañez. Erica Aller. Natalia Anna Panico. Anthony Augustus Paul. Elena Brian Peoples. Alexia Perez. Juliana Andrea Paris. Kasna Nora Pichara. Guadalupe Pimentel. Begoña Poliakov. Graciela Popoca. Raquel Pollums. Shayna Paiku. Brittany Radziwan. Maggie Jane Reed. Edith Reynaga. Rachel Sabella Rios. James Jacob Rodriguez. Jamie Michelle Rosenbaum. Xochitl Gabriela Schutte. Caitlin Pauline Lucille Rothworm. Samara Jalen Rothstein. Jillian G. Ruggieri. Stacy Rupolo. Fatima Sakrani. Nisa Sanchez. Magdalena Sarmiento. Vincent Philip Sarna. Hannah Marie Sobie. Catherine Schmodel. Rachel Ann Schultz. Kamal B. Shaw. Phoebe Rachel Siegel Horn. Shira Silver. Christina M. Scoff. Maya Lene Smith. Angelica Solano. Sasha Solaf. Madison Susan Starr. Maria Stavropoulos. Julia Pocup Stolfus. Titania Strong. Connor Richard Sullivan. Tayana K. Tall. Stephanie Ann Maculintal Tariga. Bradley Stephen Thomas. Naveen Jivan Thomas. Isabella R. Thompson. Sarah Grace Thompson. Leslie Anel Tirado Robles. Lauren K. Tomasek. Claudia Urey. Antoinette Alexandria Vargas. Diana Vega. Emma Velázquez. Rachel Louise Whitney. Michaela Danielle Witek. Maggie Wilkin. Lindsay Williams. Maya Bethany Weiser. Lori Kathleen Vodiak. Natalie Nicole Ute. Malak Sudan. Ariel Renee Zimmerman. Nicole Marie Nices. Shareni J. Mota Reyes. Anissa Afeto. Mary Claire McVoy Algren. Nadia Albino. Afra Ali. Lara Al-Kurdi. Tamara Alshawit. Lydia Alter. Shoshana Iredela Atman Schaefer. Noah Axel Alvarado. María Cristina Alvarado Fernández. Chelsea Álvarez. Jay Álvarez. Desiree Pachel Hunter. Karine Andrade. Luznet Andujar Rosado. Iliana Aponte Colón. Dawn M. Archer. Lee Virginia Arn. Elliot Ash. Ryan Joseph Atherton. Emily Margaret Hong Ballantine. Jalen James Albert Bell. Natalie Susan Berg. Claire Atherton Bergman. Rochelle Berrios Medina. Elijah Benjamin Blaze. Erica Louise Bobish. Madeline Grace Boggs. Madeline Marie Broly. Katie Mercedes Burgos. Claire Elizabeth Burkemper. Kimberly Burton. Morgan Karstrom. Abraham Carpio. Erica Chavez. Anna Marie Coco. Jordan Natalie Cohen. Hannah C. Cooper. Christine Marie Cooper. Verónica María Cruz Acevedo. Wanda S. Dishwaiki Avila. Gabriela del Real. Jamie Nicole DeVita. Megan Elizabeth Dierna. Jenna Claire Epstein. Grace Elizabeth Irving. Gladys Esparza. Maria Guadalupe Echeverria Crowley. Bianca Jeanette Espinosa. Riley Caraco Farkas. Alicia Ferrer. Kaylin M. Fleischer. Noel Catherine Flodine. Alejandra Flores. Sarah Marie Flynn. Samantha Friedkin. Hannah Elizabeth Fuller. Sophia Juliet Gallen. Jennifer Eileen Garcia. Vanessa Garcia. Megan Elizabeth Gurnis. Christopher Michael Gibson. Leora Golan. Julia Golden. Adriana del Pilar Gómez. Karina González. Liana Michelle Grun. Carly Allura Hacker. Michaela Hank. Amanda K. Haw. Liliana Hernández. Rosana Hernández Reyes. Zach Reed Hiyama. Jonathan Michael Hoff. Hallie Hollitz. Jane A. Hoyt. Taylor Christine Hudak. Sean Patrick Hines. Mayra A. Iniguez. Taja Jackson. Andrea Jean Jacobson. Catherine Tudar Jacobus. Carla Johnson. Jada Christine Marie Johnson. Emily Paige Jones. Hannah Rose Joseph. Evan Ann Kafka. Manessa Khan. Dua Kuwaja. Miriam Kalfawi. Rebecca Elizabeth Claybor. Magdalena Nichek. Lydia Grace Norp. Cassandra Therese Crookton. Emily Louise Lamp. Olivia Grace Laundry. Yvonne LaSalle. Geraldine May Lee. Remy Leonard. Zoe Claire Gaino Linder. Sandra Patricia Llanos. Alexia Logaharikis. Jenny Lopez. Candace Melissa Love. Raven Lowe Watkins. Taylor Bree Mackey. Emma Pearl McGee. Emily Ann Marinac. Elizabeth Marks. Kelly Marie Masland. Hannah Julian Matheson. Margaret Ann McBrien. Margaret McCall, Brian Bollinger McCann, Gwendolyn Marie McElhatton, Bree Yu Son Elaine McMasters, James William McMillan, Molly Rebecca Medlock, Alyssa Nicole Michaelsberger, Liz Janira Mendez, Sheila Dallas Mendoza, Maria Dolores Merlos Vaca, Ayon Moon, Christina Danielle Monroe. Let us now congratulate the graduates. ¡Felicidades!
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees will now be presented. Dean Menon will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the School of Social Work please rise? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Social Work and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side, and congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for all bachelor's degrees will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by marshals. Dr. Jean Sokolek, Program Director of the Bachelor of Social Work program, will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not yet been taken out of their rows may be seated again. Friends and family, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all BSWs have been recognized. Guests are not permitted to approach the stage to take photographs. Thank you for your cooperation.
Awarding the Bachelor of Social Work degree, Rachel X. Summit, Madeline Alt, Owen Anderson, Aisha Ari, Andrea Bowerly, Julianne Beaulieu, Annette Butler, Ellen Bush, Rory Butcher, Molly Sharpenter, Isaac Cho, Jessica Cook, Cassandra Del Valle, Mercedes Delgado, Aliette Diaz Fowles, Christopher Dronin, Celia Joy Frontiani, Devin Garcia, Liliana Rose Giatti, Jamie Susan Glass, Erica Gomez, Yisrael Goodman, Leslie Ann Hansen, Emily Hernandez, Cameron Danielle Hinkle, Catherine Hook, Anna Heisinga, Sarah Johnson, Angel Michelle Kellark, Isabella Koptik, Jillian Kornick, Isabel Luna, Emily Catherine Markle, Ben Melikian, Lauren Julie Mendoza, Camille M. Morham, Hannah Mosher, Ank Ridun Monkey Real, Julie Nelson, Madeline Peterson, Ariana Reynega, Evelyn Rodriguez, Adora Isabella Roman, Anne Marie Shenning, Fenna Semkin, Marissa Sepulveda, Megan Shanahan, Charles Stearns, Rachel Tassi, Madeline Ortiz, Olivia Thomas, Chelsea Torrado, Leah Rose Underwood, Julia Love Watt, Daniel Edward Weiler, Hannah Watley Manoff, Monica Wojciechowicz, Gabriella Christina Zaletti, Julia Yacarino. Let's give them a hand of applause. Congratulations.
Following the closing blessing, please join the graduates for a reception on the West Quad. We ask that you remain in your seats until all the graduates have exited the auditorium. It is now my privilege to invite Dr. Joanne Rooney to the podium, who will offer a few remarks and a final blessing.
Members of the class of 2022, it has been a very long road, perhaps best described as riding a roller coaster through a dark tunnel, unable to see the steep drops and hairpin turns, not certain when you will emerge into the light. Yet, you did it. You have graduated. Each of us, at various times throughout our lives, both sit upon the shoulders and follow in the footsteps of others who came before us. Just over 500 years ago, St. Ignatius of Loyola and a small group of colleagues made a pledge to each other. They vowed to study, work, and prayed together. They pledged to propagate a faith that melded spirituality with deep inquiry, fostering that dynamic tension between formation of the mind academically with formation of deep spirituality and trust in God. When they founded the Society of Jesus and its educational mission and method, they did so in a spirit of intellectual and cultural openness that fundamentally shifted Christianity and Western culture. The Jesuits did not promote a blind, unquestioning faith. Their revolutionary approach blended spiritual and educational methods that opened hearts and minds to art and to science, to reason and to rhetoric. Through deep inquiry, observation, debate, and discourse, they looked for God in all things. And they did all of this in service to others. Ignatius and the Jesuits created a system of education that integrated study and research, rigor and compassion, contemplation and conversation, all with active engagement among the people, societies, and cultures around them. In short, the Jesuits moved beyond the secure walls of the monastery to fearlessly engage with the world around them, to advance change, and to lift up those who suffer. Today, that same mission is entrusted to you and embodied in you. Graduates, you are challenged to act, going to the margins of our society in service to the poor and underserved, and expanding the frontiers of knowledge to support that same service. You have embraced your Jesuit education not simply as a way to distinguish yourselves in a career, but as a way to learn, to lead, and to serve in your place and time in this world. Now, on its face, this idea of service may seem straightforward and uncomplicated. It is not. I was reminded of this recently in a Western civilization class that I attended, taught by our own Professor Buchholz. Civilization, civilized society, is at its core about community, about greetings and sympathy. As members of a community, we must be willing to reach deep within ourselves to engage with one another, not just via a video or a text, but face to face. Human connection to human connection. It is about receiving each other and interacting on a personal level. The smile, the nod, the acknowledgement, the embrace. But along with greeting, we must also show sympathy, or a better description, true empathy. Committing ourselves to seeing each other, appreciating each other, understanding each other, and showing compassion and care. It is only then that we could be of real service, walking alongside and accompanying those in need. Recently, Pope Francis was much more direct, dare I say blunt, in his assessment, calling on each of us to put aside consumerism and self-centered desires to serve others. In a recent homily celebrating Mass for the World Day of the Poor, he stated, "Let us not waste our lives thinking only about ourselves, indifferent to others, or deluding ourselves into thinking peace and security. Instead," he said, "we must look reality in the face and avoid the infection of indifference. The infection of indifference. As we emerge from the relative isolation of this pandemic, we are often struck and even consumed by all the sorrows and lessons we have endured over the past few years, even though we cannot undo the past. We also can become anxious and even overwhelmed when we focus on the future and all we need to do to address the urgent issues in our neighborhoods, communities, and across the world. But we also cannot dictate the details of tomorrow. Learn from the past, yes. Contemplate the future, of course. However, equally important, what we must also do is be present in the moment. I urge you to regularly pause and engage with the present. Offer greetings and express empathy. Appreciate the beauty that surrounds us, the warmth of the sun, the uplifting sound of laughter, the vibrant colors of new spring growth, the melodies of joyous music, the smile of a child, the poignant stories of an elder. My sincere prayer for each of you is that your Jesuit education affords you protection against the infection of indifference. That you continue to explore, grow, and learn, moving toward a hope-filled future, serving where the need is the greatest. That you stay connected to the present, nourishing the good in your lives with love and optimism, sharing greetings and expressing sympathy. In these ways, you will be the difference and make the difference in all you do. As I close, I would like to offer one final gesture of respect and gratitude to each one of you, graduates of the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health and the School of Social Work at Loyola University Chicago. I tip my hat to you and congratulations. Graduates, I will ask that you please remain seated just for a few more moments. Everyone else, please stand if you are able and extend your hand over our graduates for a final blessing. The blessing is located on the last page of the program and will also be displayed on the screens. Please join with me. May God bless you and sustain you on this, your graduation day. May the Creator of this vast universe keep you safe as you go forth from this place that has nourished your mind and your soul. May the Almighty look down upon you and give you success in all your endeavors, courage in all your struggles and challenges, understanding in all that is new to you, wisdom to choose what is right and do what is good, perseverance in all you undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that you are not alone, that you are loved. May the Lord of all look kindly upon you this day and forever. Amen. And congratulations, graduates!